Hey guys, this is your host Eric. Today we are going to watch comedy genre movie called Kills on Wheels. Spoilers ahead, turn on your subtitle, I greatly appreciate your support. Enjoy the video. In Kills on Wheels, the story is about an assassin named Rusov, who was very feared in his time, and a young man named Zoli. Both of them have disabilities. Rusov has been in a wheelchair for the past 3 years because of the injuries he got. Meanwhile, Zoli was born with a disc that forced him to use a wheelchair his whole life. Zoli now lives with a friend named in a dorm. Zoli likes to draw comics in his spare time, and his work is pretty good. Zoli and Adam were playing with fire extinguishers near their dorm one day. Then Rusov came. He looked annoyed by how silly they were acting, so he attacked Zoli. Fights are inevitable. But Rusov suddenly realized that he had gone a little too far towards Zoli and Adam. The man then said he was sorry and invited Zoli and Adam to his party. At the party, Zoli and Adam seemed to be having a good time. Ryuzev then offers Zoli and Adam jobs as assassins and promises them worldly pleasures like the ones they get at the party today. A few days later, Zoli went to the hospital for surgery, but he turned it down because his father, who had left him when he was born, was paying for it. After finding out that he was born with a disability, the scene changes to Rufus, who gets a mission from his. Then, Rusov went to an empty parking lot to wait for his target. A car pulled up next to him and stopped. Men got out of the car and walked up to him. Rusov was threatened with a knife, and one of them stuck the knife into his thigh, but he seemed fine. Rusov said that since sitting in a wheelchair, he couldn't feel anything in his legs. This made the people he was talking to laugh at him. One of them then kicked Rufus away. He then coughed and pulled a plastic bag out of his pocket. It turned out that the plastic had a gun in it, which he used to shoot his targets one by one until he had killed them all. After Rusov killed the people he was trying to kill, an ambulance came to the scene. A woman named Zita, who is a nurse, tends to a cut on Rusov's thigh. It turned out that the two people knew each other. Rusov liked her and wanted to take her to a movie after work, but Zita turned him down and told him she was already in a relationship. Rusov was crushed when he found out that the woman he loved so much was already taken. He even tried to kill himself by throwing himself off the steps of the pedestrian bridge, but fate would not let him leave this world. Rusov woke up and went back to living his life. When Rusov gets paid by his boss, the scene changes. His boss tells him to keep his job a secret and not work with anyone else. In fact, Zoli and Adam helped Ryuzev a lot during all this time. Rusov met Zoli in the hospital, where he was getting treatment for his leg. Rusov told him to stop helping him and ended their work together, but Zoli refused and said he would still help him. Even though Zoli's mother tried to convince him over and over, he still wouldn't take the money his father gave him. Rusov waited for Zita in front of the hospital after he was done working out his legs. He wanted to give the woman he loves a bouquet of roses, but he changed his mind when he saw Zita with her fiancé. After that, Rusov was hired to kill a government worker. He came up with a plan to kill the official while he was having lunch at a restaurant by the highway. Rusov waited on the other side of the road while Zoli and Adam took care of things on their own sides to make his job easy. Rusov was able to complete his mission without drawing attention to himself while crossing the street thanks to a flock of pigeons and a crowd of people walking by. The official fell down suddenly, and blood was all over his body. His bodyguards were busy looking for the shooter, but no one would have thought to look for 3 disabled men in wheelchairs. The 3 left the scene right away. Later, Rusov met Zita when he got on a bus. She sent Rusov a wedding invitation card, but Rusov didn't know that the boss was watching his. After they met, his boss was so mad at him for breaking the rules that he kicked him until he fell to the ground. He had one chance to make things right with his boss. Rusov went on a mission this time to kill Zoli and Adam. The next day, Rusov took his 2 friends fishing in a lake, even though it was hard for them to get there through the grassland. The 3 people finally got to the lake and began to fish. Adam was so happy when the fish ate the bait that he asked for help pulling in the line. Rusov didn't help Adam. Instead, he pushed him into the lake. Rusov throws Zoli into the water and plans to leave, but he couldn't leave his friends to drown. He finally jumped into the lake to save Zoli and Adam. When they all got back to the pier, Rusov figured out for the first time that it was a joke. He didn't finish the job that was given to him. Rusov invited his friends to a party at his house when he got back from the lake. Then he told them about Zita and how much he loved her. Rupo's friends wanted to help him get back together with Zita. They also made plans. The next day, 3 of Rupo's girlfriends carried the man and put him against a car, making it look like he could stand and no longer needed a wheelchair. Rusov waits for Zita to come home from the hospital, but after hours of waiting, he finds out that Zita isn't coming home because she's on vacation. Their plan didn't work. A few days later, his boss tells Rusov to kill a drug dealer. The boss told him he would get paid twice as much. Rusov agreed to do the mission on the condition that his current job would be his last, and he would no longer take any other job offers. The boss agreed, and Rusov and his 2 friends went to the house of the target. Zilly and Adam had to wait in the car while he did his trick. Before going into Rusov's house, the guards searched him, but they didn't find anything strange like a gun or sharp objects, so they thought it was safe. The guards took him to the house where they worked to meet their boss. When he got to the house and met the drug dealer, he started to do what he had planned. He took a gun that was hidden in the foam of the wheelchair and shot at the guards inside the house, but he missed. Instead of running away, the person being chased grabbed his gun and started shooting at Rusov. But Rusov is a hitman, so he knows how to use weapons better than most people. Even though he was covered in wounds and his clothes were stained with blood, he managed to kill everyone and finish his mission, and then he ran away from the scene. When he got close to the gate, he heard the police car's siren. He had a hard time getting the locked gate open, but Zoli and Adam looked scared while they were in the car. Zoli then took the initiative to stop the police car while Adam helped Ryuzal get out of the house. All three of them were able to get away. Then Rusov went to see his boss to get paid for his work. Rusov was taken somewhere by car by his boss, which was strange. They went to a warehouse that was empty. Rusov could tell that his boss was acting strangely. This time, his boss knew about Rusov's trick because there was a rope hanging from the ceiling. His friends are still alive, he knows, because he had broken his boss's trust. His boss was very angry and upset with him. He put the reins around Russ's neck, got out of his wheelchair, and left the hitman alone. Rusov desperately tried to free himself from the leash around his neck while holding the toes of his shoes. He tried to get to his wheelchair, which wasn't too far away, but all of his efforts were in vain. After he almost gave up because his efforts weren't working, the rope around his neck finally got a little looser. He got the rope off his head and was able to keep living. Rusov went straight to his friends as soon as he got home to plan revenge on the bus driver who had gone too far. A few days went by. Rusov's friends Zoli and Adam went with him to Zeta's wedding. He looked very nice in his white coat and tie. Rusov even took the time to show off how well he could sing, which made many people, including Zeta, compliment him. She started crying, but then Rusov kissed Zeta, and her husband got very angry. After the party was over, Rusov was beaten up by Zeta's husband and his friends for what he had done to his wife. Rusov will get help from Soli. He made a gun threat to Zeta's husband. Then they took Rusov away. And over the next few days, Rusov set out to get back at the boss. He and Zoli go to his boss's safe house. They walk right in. Rusov said that, while Adam watches from the outside. He wanted to get paid for the last job that his boss hadn't paid him for, but his boss was afraid to pay him. And he told him he would let his dogs go after Rusov and Zoli if he didn't. Then Rusov took out his gun and shot at the fire extinguisher that was sitting on the table next to his boss. The dogs were running around outside like crazy. The boss then attacked him quickly until he dropped the gun. He used a knife to stab Rusov many times. Zoli gets Rupsal's gun, but he doesn't help his partner. Instead, he stands by and lets the boss kill him, and then he kills the boss by himself. He took all of the boss's money out of the safe. He would use this money to pay for his leg later. And that was the end of the story of the wheelchair killer. It turns out that everything that has happened to Rusov so far is just a story Zilli made up for a comic book. He made up a character named Rusov who looks like both his father and someone with a disability like himself. Zili's whole life, he never met his father. He only keeps a picture of his father, who looks a lot like Rusov. Because of this, he was unexpectedly inspired to make a comic about his father and himself. The comic turned out to be something that a lot of people liked, and publishers saw this and made a lot of money from it. Zili also sent his father a copy of Russo's comic as a gift. We really appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell because it is really important for us. Thank you.